I have a theory that the whole Jaguar rebrand is actually an advertising campaign.
It could be the best masterstroke of the year, or they could fall flat on their face.
I don't actually remember this much coverage for a rebrand ever. I remember Bud Light was a failure, but that was isolated to America. This is a global, I think every media outlet around the world has got onto this for better or for worse.
Yeah. I mean, because Jaguar is one of those legacy brands, right? It's traditional British car manufacturer, and it has that place in kind of the automotive world, but now it's extending beyond just that kind of like niche car market and all the car journals that we like to engage with. Everyone is talking about this brand. And the video, I think, on YouTube's got almost 2 million views.
Yeah, and 2 million reviews, okay, it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, and all the commentary has been negative, but how much is that worth? So my theory is that come when the release date is, or the big reveal in Miami, they're going to reveal the car and maybe they go, gotcha, and it'll be something completely different.
I think Jaguar's sales, right, they were sort of stagnating over the last 5 years. And I think the JLR brand itself was on a bit of a decline, certainly over the last 5. Obviously, the Range Rover sales were doing so good for them, and that was actually making them in the profit. But it was reported that they were making a loss per Jaguar sold. And so it's an interesting way to sort of make the brand a little bit more relevant, a little bit more in people's thoughts when they think about, am I going to go buy that next car? But certainly when you have this kind of like, I don't know, it's so much uncertainty about what this brand is and what it represents. And if you're driving a Jaguar, what does that say about you? So certainly a lot of people are thinking like, how can you trust this brand?
Very, very true. And also the automotive industry is it's having what I call the quartz crisis that the watch industry went through in the late 70s. They don't know what they're doing. No car brand knows whether to go electric, hybrid, or hydrogen. So this is also, I think, a good example of the industry clutching at straws. Sorry, I just spat on you. So I'm so excited I just spat on you. I think the industry is also clutching at straws, going, where do we fit in society?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for the car brands to do a bit of a rebrand, because obviously one man's quartz crisis is another man's innovation. You know, it was only called the quartz crisis because there was a new movement that was coming in and making watches a little bit more accessible, a little bit more cheaper. EV revolution is going to change the way that we interact with our cars and what a vehicle represents, more so than just like an A to B vehicle.
Very good point. One thing I do like about the Jaguar rebrand is the logo. It's actually not a terrible logo. I think where they went south was with this woke, creative video where it was very inclusive, a lot of different people, which is what the brand director of Jaguar UK was all about. He said, it's a time to be a transition. What did he call us?
I think didn't he say something like it was an opportunity to be reflective of the society in which we live.
And no one's the same. Everyone's different.
But I think calling it a woke rebrand, I'm a little bit skeptical of doing that, because then that certainly categorized it as something negative. The way that word has been completely loaded now. I don't necessarily see it as a woke rebrand. I see it as like future-proofing that brand in the next stage of that kind of automotive generation. And
if you take the original Jaguar, which is Jeremy Clarkson, tweed hat, and compare it to what they have now, they're polar opposites. And by doing that, you've polarized a lot of people going, well, no, this is what it was always meant to be, and this is what it is now. And I think the shock is what's got everybody up in arms or made everyone talk about it.
I think how many of these people online have bought a Jaguar in the last 5-10 years? I think if you're a Jaguar driver and you have a Jag in your driveway, then you're able to sort of speak on this brand revolution. I think a lot of the time people just want to make a bit of hot air online, and it doesn't necessarily reflect what that brand's trying to do. You know, they're obviously getting people talking about it, which is good, but also I think people just want to kick up a stink about another brand perceived to be going in a different direction.
And I hope that when the reveal happens, the cars are kick-ass and everyone proves everyone wrong.
Yeah.
Or that they turn out and go, hey, this was actually a campaign. We're going to go enter it in the Cannes Creativity Festival next year, and we're going to win the PR Grand Prix.
Yeah. That, or they'll just start selling vapes.
A Jaguar vape.
That would go off.
I'd like a Mango Madness Jaguar vape, please. Yeah.